Today, we are diving headfirst into one of the most mind-bending puzzles in all of philosophy. It's called Fitch's paradox, and, well, it seems to prove there are things we just can't ever know.
So let's just start with that giant question right there. Are there truths out there that are just impossible for us to ever discover? I mean, your gut reaction is probably, no way, right? But stick with me, because the rabbit hole we're about to go down leads to a pretty shocking yes.
Okay, so to get there, we have to begin with a rule that seems super reasonable, almost obvious. It's called the knowability principle. And all it says is this: for any statement that's true, it's at least possible for someone somewhere to know it. We're not saying we know everything right now, just that nothing is fundamentally locked away from us.
To put it another way, if something's a fact, it has to be discoverable. It just makes sense, doesn't it? It's the idea that there isn't some cosmic vault of truths that are permanently off limits to us. At least, that's what you'd think.
But here's where the whole thing gets weird. What happens when we take this simple, common-sense idea and we aim it at a very, very particular type of truth? This is the tiny crack where the paradox slips in.
So let's imagine a very specific kind of statement. It has two parts. First, it states a fact is true. And second, it states that this very same fact is unknown to anyone. Think of it like this. There's a gold coin buried under this tree and nobody knows it's here. If that statement were true, it would be a perfect example of what we're calling an unknown truth.
All right, just to keep things from getting messy, let's give our little statement a nickname. We'll just call it K. So whenever I say K, you know I'm talking about the whole idea. This fact is true, and this fact is currently unknown.
Okay, now let's follow the breadcrumbs. Step 1. According to our knowability principle, if K is true, then it has to be possible for someone to know it. Step 2. So let's pretend someone, let's call her Sarah, figures it out. She now knows K. And that leads us to the million-dollar question in step 3. What is it exactly that Sarah actually knows?
And boom, here's the trap. Sarah now knows the full statement. This fact is true, and this fact is unknown. But wait a minute. The second she knows it, the unknown part of the statement becomes false. Her very act of knowing it completely flips the script and makes the original claim untrue.
Let me just repeat that because it's the entire paradox in a nutshell. The simple act of knowing this particular truth makes it false. It's a statement that can only exist as true as long as no one ever learns it. The moment you grasp it, poof, it self-destructs.
This is the logical knot we can't untie. You see, the moment someone learns it, it stops being an unknown truth and becomes a known truth. It's like a prophecy that can only come true by being proven wrong. The statement's very DNA prevents it from being known without blowing everything up.
So what we have here is a straight-up logical impossibility. Our starting principle said that any truth must be knowable. But we just found a truth that can only exist if it's unknowable. You can't have it both ways. Logic has officially hit a brick wall.
So let's just lay out the final verdict here. We started with what seemed like a totally harmless idea, the knowability principle. We followed the logic, and it led us straight into a contradiction. Now, in the world of logic, if a rule leads to a contradiction, the rule itself has got to be wrong. Which leaves us with a staggering conclusion. There must be truths out there that are fundamentally, permanently unknowable.
And that leaves us with a pretty chilling final thought. If our universe has truths that are just forever beyond our grasp, it makes you wonder, what else is out there? What other secrets is reality keeping that we can't even begin to imagine? What does it mean to live in a world that will never fully reveal itself to us?